Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, Mortal Kombat 11, the online beta for the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, this of course isn't my first impressions overall because I've had a first impression of the Mortal Kombat 11 online beta, but that was a stress test. This time around, the closed beta not only lasted longer, but also gave players a little bit more to do outside of just playing with the same three characters against a variety of online opponents. This online beta offers not only the online component, which we had in the stress test, with the online beta in this version, the closed beta, we also have some single player activities, and specifically the classic towers. You have the opportunity to take one of the 5 characters available, including the new characters for this part of the beta. In the first half we had Baraka, Scorpion, and Scarlet. This time we actually have Cabal and Jade added to that roster, making each match more varied, not only against online competition, but of course against single player competition in the classic towers. Now, through the menus, we also see that we have a story mode, of course. We have Towers of Time, which I'm assuming is a version of classic towers, but features maybe a variety of old and new fighters, or maybe it's something completely different. Maybe it's something that I am not expecting. Maybe it's something like the randomized test your luck kind of towers. Maybe that's what it is, you know. I don't know exactly what it is just yet, but we'll find out. AI battle, which is something that was from Injustice 2, returns in Mortal Kombat 11, which you could set up a group of online fighters to pretty much fight another group of online fighters set up by other players around the world and gather points, and in the case of Injustice 2, gather currency so you can unlock more gear, more abilities, more weapons. And that's really what I want to talk about today, because having the ability to play the game a lot longer this time with the closed beta, I had a chance to really jump into the customization options that are available in Mortal Kombat 11. And very similar to Injustice 2, you can change the look, the appearance, the gear modifications, the gear output of each character. But unlike Injustice 2, where each character just had one style, with every character in Mortal Kombat having 3 styles, you're actually allowed to change not only the appearance of each character's style, but also their movesets and some of the stuff that they do, including the intro, the outro, and even the brutalities and finishers that are associated with that character's style. And that is a really interesting implementation, because say you have a style like Cabal's, who is a new character in terms of this beta. His Cabalan style, which doesn't have the deadly razor blades, the saw blades that he can throw out that are just menacing if you're taking on the right player, and put it with that style. You can mix and match these styles to finally have the character that you wanted without sacrificing certain special maneuvers. But there is a limiter, and that's one thing I do appreciate. There is a limiter, because each move has 1 to 2 bars that it takes up of 3. And I appreciate that, because that means that players will not be able to just load up each character with the best moves available. And in Injustice 2, currency was pretty easy to get. It wasn't that big of a deal. You could pretty much unlock a lot of stuff by just simply playing through the game, playing through multiverse, playing online. My biggest issue is the random number generator, because when it came to unlocking certain items, certain gear, certain maneuvers for specific characters, it was based solely on luck. And at times, stuff that you wanted, you wouldn't be able to get without incredible amounts of grinding. The options of having all of this impressive gear, having all of these impressive maneuvers, being locked behind the randomness of just the universe is always a little frightening. There are still some issues when it comes to the overall gameplay. I've had some moments where it just doesn't seem like moves should connect. This time I've had a few more issues with connectivity when it comes to fighting other players online. But during the closed beta, I had a lot more desynchronization moments where we would be in the middle of a hotly contested fight and then the game would just conk out on you. The game will just die on you. Of course, this is good because through the beta, they can learn, figure out what is going wrong, try to adjust for it, so when April comes, when the actual release comes at the end of April, they will be ready and we won't have these type of problems consistently. I'm actually more hyped now because having the chance to play with Cabal, who is one of my favorites of all time in the Mortal Kombat lore, so having him finally in the game that I'm able to test him out and play around with him, I'm excited to see how well I can do with him in the long run. Baraka's still my guy, he's still doing great. Scorpion's a little rough, I'm getting a little bit better with him. Scarlet, I'm learning a little bit more with her now too, and Jade is one of the more interesting additions when it comes to the roster because she's a very standoffish character, even though she has a pole, even though she has some kick-based combos. The fact is that Jade feels like the type of character that a player wants to use if they want a player to come after them, if they want an opponent to keep attacking them. She's a very good counter character, unlike Cabal, who's a very aggressive character that is made for people who want to just go forward and hit you as hard as they can, as quickly as they can. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. Mortal Kombat 11, the online beta for the PS4 and Xbox One. Now if you don't mind, I gotta go back and watch some videos. Start learning these combo strings because I'm gonna need every bit of help I can get. Because it's kind of embarrassing to get stabbed in the chest, ripped apart, and hearing the announcer say that I have been brutalized through a brutality. It's almost enough to make me say, "Oh Lordy."